Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leathercraft Supply, and this is the Leather Element. Send us a question. Once a week, we'll do our best to get a good answer back to you. Now this week, not really a question, but a great tip. We're going to taper a strap. Well, now why would we do that? First and foremost, I love a buckle set, but I also love the 1.5 inch standard width of a belt. These are typically available in 3/4 and 1 inch. Now they do go up to 1.5, but like the gun belt, that's a big belt or a big buckle, and it's not going to look great on a casual belt width. So we want to taper that strap down. Gorgeous, and it's super easy, but also too, all manner of applications here. Say I want to use a chap snap or a clip or a D-ring or O-ring, but I want to keep that strap the same width, so I need to taper that. When I do, look at that perfect movement, and you're going to be surprised how easy this is. We're going to use two of my favorite tools. So let's step over to the other side of my cutting table and knock out a beautiful taper. Now, one of the best tools in a leather shop is a wooden strap cutter. This is phenomenal. Let's say this is a much larger hide. Easy enough. All right, we're going to bust a straight edge into that, but I can take my strap cutter and I can set this from 1/8 of an inch all the way up to 4 inches and strap off of that hide as many times as I want. That is going to be exactly 1 1/4 inch each time, every time. All right, great tool, very durable. In fact, you can tell I probably bought that in the 90s, but we're going to use that for a taper. Now, here's how we're going to measure this. We've got a 1.5 inch wide strap. We're going to taper down to 1 inch. 1/2 inch difference, split that in half, so we need 1/4 inch off either side. Easy enough. Two ways we can do that. Let's start here. I'm going to set this strap cutter at 1/4 inch. I'm simply going to run it down the edge of my strap. How easy is that? Now, I'm going to stop right in the middle of that hole. Now I can go a little further or a little short. The point there is when I flip this to the other side, I want that cut consistent. Now, second way we can do this, and what I tend to prefer, I'm going to straddle my strap. So what I'm going to do to measure for this is I'm going to take my 1 inch width, add that 1/4, so I'm going to set this at 1 1/4 inches. Cross over my strap and cut the same way. Now I'm going to bring that down again right to that hole. There we go. Two perfect, easy cuts. How easy is that? Now, let's jump over to our quartz and punch these. Now, one thing we're looking for here is consistency. I'm going to use a 1 inch English point. But now too, maybe a little tough to see, but I've got marks on the inside of my tool, roughly, that's all I'm saying, roughly 1/3 of the way from the tip to the edge. All that does is makes this more consistent, easier to see, but that's what we're looking for, a very consistent punch. So what I'm going to do, let's stretch that out, drop the corner of my tool right in the end of that cut. That line is going to go right, well, let's see if we can, yeah, there we go. I'm going to drop that right there, flatten it out. There's a punch. Very clean and consistent. All right, now we won't be able to see the mark on this other side, but I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Line that up. There we go. Well, how clean and consistent is that taper? And how easy is that? Now, two things. I would suggest not using a round end because that's going to make that taper a little too hard of a turn. So therefore, if this moves through your pants, say this is a belt, and we're going through belt loops, that is going to catch on every belt loop. It's going to be very frustrating. But the second thing, and this is a good point, right here, we're just making a strap in, maybe a D-ring or an O-ring. But when I move in for a buckle on my tongue side, notice I need enough room there for my buckle to seat before my taper. So where we just went to that hole, if I'm doing a buckle side or a tongue side, I may go maybe say another 1/2 inch in, and that will give that plenty of room. All right, easy enough. Two great tools, clean, easy taper. Well, I hope that's some good information for you. I hope it's a good tip. I certainly hope that it makes your leather work more professional, more consistent, but at the same time, I hope it makes your life in your shop a little bit easier. I am a big fan of both. Now, something very cool. Look at our product video on the English Point Punch. There are some cool things you can do with that tool. Got nothing to do with a belt tip or a taper. Thanks for taking time to watch the Leather Element. Good luck with your projects.